Recording started, huh?
Hello.
Yeah, hi, sir.
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you're audible. Can you share your presentation?
Okay.
Share your entire screen. That is,
Wait.
yeah. Choose the entire screen option. Choose the third option. There is a laptop with an up arrow. Click on that. It is the share
Okay.
screen option.
Okay.
Then choose the entire screen. That is the third option. You would be shown a screen in the center. Click on
Okay.
yeah. Perfect. Start the slideshow. No, hide. Press the hide button and
Okay.
do the slideshow.
Yeah, it's slideshow now.
Perfect. You're audible, visible, and we have started the recording as well. Team members are joining, and let me introduce you first.
Okay, sir.
Hi,
Sure.
and yeah, hi, and welcome to all the participants. Today we have the pleasure of having Dr. Narendra Negi with us, sir is scientist, fruit sciences, ICR, National Bureau of Plant Generic Resources, Regional Station, Shimla. And the topic chosen by our esteemed guest for deliberation today is kiwi fruit cultivation in India, opportunities and challenges. Sir, you're audible as well as visible, and recording has started. You can start.
Okay. Thank you. First of all, I'm very much thankful for the organizer for giving me this opportunity, and hope the I got that message that there are more than 20 participants and across the country, especially that faculty members and from that universities and KVKs. So this is the one of the very important crop, as you all know, which is emerging in India, especially in temperate to subtropical area. So this kiwi fruit cultivation, I will start this how the kiwi fruit cultivation started in India and gained popularity in a very past decade, just like around 1990s, and after 1990s at 2000 only it started getting popular. It is one of the known as the China miracle fruit and horticulture wonder of the New Zealand, because central of origin is China, and the New Zealand has explored the kiwi fruit cultivation like anything in the world. In fact, no other fruit had gained popularity in such a short period of lifespan. Sorry, I will make in a silent mode. Okay. Such short period of history after when the fruit culture and commercialization has started. Fruit has a slightly acidic in taste with high vitamin C, K, and juice is sometimes used as a meat tenderizer. And kiwi vines are dioecious in nature, meaning that male and female flowers are born on a separate individuals. Then historical background, how that kiwi in India, that what's the relation? That first it was introduced in 1960s, as it was first established in Lal Bagh Garden at a Bangalore, where it did not flower. And in 1963, under the leadership of late Dr. Harbhajan Singh, also known as Indian Vavilove, it was introduced from USA by the Plant Innovation Center of Indian Agriculture Research Institute located at Fagli, which is now that NBPJ Organization Fagli. Since 1963, the station has played a pivotal role in the introduction, conservation of kiwifruit germplasm. Multiple repetitive trait-specific introduction has been made over the time, and genetic diversity and adaptability and commercial viability studies. And the 50 germplasm. At present, if am the curator and I'm dealing with that kiwifruit germplasm, at present 50 different kiwifruit germplasm are established at our field gene bank at NBPJ Regional Station Shimla, and which included not only Actinidia and deliciosa, some other species as well. So I will first go to the bit of cultivation aspect, and after that the main how that opportunity, what are the opportunity, what are the challenges, and what are the success stories of kiwifruit cultivation in India. This is belongs to a family Actinidiaceae and genus Actinidia and species deliciosa. As I already mentioned, that origin is southwestern China and basic chromosome number is 29. And what's the problem with kiwifruit? The Actinidia breeding program, we have a different basic chromosome number for the different species. Like Actinidia chinesis var chinesis 2N is 58, then Actinidia chinesis var hispida 2N 178, and Actinidia deliciosa, that Bruno and Abbott, 2N is 174, and Actinidia arguta 2N 15, 58, 160, 116 and 174, and Actinidia polygama 2N 58. And is China miracle fruit and horticultural wonder of New Zealand. Although this fruit wine originated in China, yet its full economic potential was exploited by the New Zealanders. And New Zealand has the major producer and the exporter as well, contributing 70% of the world trade, mainly now that Hot 16 or Just Free series of the kiwi fruit. And kiwi has completely replaced the old name of Chinese gooseberry, and in China it is called that mihatao, that monkey peach, because of its resemblance. Himachal Pradesh is the first state to demonstrate its commercial cultivation, and it's performing well in the mid hills ranging from 900 meter to 118 meter from our main sea level. Further was fruit cultivation in mid hills of GMT+05, Uttarakhand, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, and although some other part of Nagaland, Manipur, they are also started cultivation in a bit higher elevation in their states. During recent years, large scale plantation of this kiwi fruit has been made in Dirang, that is Arunachal, Rupa, Kalantang, Zero now, that very famous place for kiwi fruit cultivation, not only for the cultivation, but its processing also. I will discuss later on that how that some female farmers, they have started that processing of kiwi fruit as well at their places. That Indian cultivation, that mean that China, Italy, that New Zealand, Iran, and Greece. That India, more than now, if we look the current data, that's around 5,000 hectare under kiwi fruit cultivation, and more than 12,000 metric ton production. And in Himachal, if I'll talk, then 182 hectare and production is 254 metric ton. Arunachal Pradesh is the leading state in kiwi fruit production in India. Now, this is the kiwi fruit, is a perennial climbing, crumbling vine. It is a rusty brown with hairy surface and look like a sapota fruit. If we look at tropical fruit, it resembles a sapota fruit, except the shape. Shape for the sapota fruit is oval to round, but for the kiwi fruit is oblong shape. Botanically, it is a berry, and the bearing, this is one of the most important to understand for the new growers or even for a technical persons. What is the bearing of a kiwi fruit? It bears in the basal on a current season growth. Like this is the last year growth and this is the current year growth, and it bears on the basal portion, this portion, mostly up to this basal portion of the current season growth of a previous year mature bud. This is previous year, and this is the current season growth, and this is the bearing. Like the same, this and this is the current season growth. This is the close view, and this, as I already mentioned, this dioecious plant, that how male and female flower, that male flower and female flower bears on a separate plant, that is two separate plant. We need to keep that male and female plant population in a ratio that 1:9 or 1:10, or if we are the small farmer, or we need to think of that how it is geographical location also, that what that ratio we need to keep. This is the female flower, how it looks like, and this is the male flower. This is just early flower. This is the female flower, and this is the male flower, and this is female flower that mature after anthesis. The identification of these flowers is very much important, because sometimes that small farmer who is growing kiwi in a kitchen garden, who hardly takes 3 or 4 plants in the ratio of 1:4, 1:3, when he expects fruiting or flowering, sometimes his one plant or die, or because of so many reasons. So after 3 or 4 years, the farmers used to come to us and they complain that we are having the plenty of flowers, but we are not getting a fruits. That is because sometimes that there is a lack of that male plant, that is the male plant or male flower, and for that the identification of male and female plant is very much important, or sorry, male and female flower, so that if both flowers are needed for that fruit production. This how kiwi fruit looks like. It's a fresh flesh is a light green in color with decorative pattern. This is a decorative pattern, and of a lighter color rays radiating from a center and embedded in the between, and many small soft and dark seed. This is the seed. This is constructed in the, this is center and this is the seed portion. Kiwi fruit is a high quality fruit known for its taste and health attributes, which is very well known and everyone knows that. And sliced kiwi fruit has a long being used as dessert fruit. In many markets, kiwi fruit is now consumed both as a breakfast fruit and a lunch fruit. It is very rich source in rich in vitamin C, almost twice than that of an orange, and a magnesium, which is very much important element or micronutrient which is needed. A limited nutrient in a diet which is important for a cardiovascular health. Fruit contains antioxidant, vitamins, and phytochemicals called flavonoids that may have a power to neutralize unstable molecules called free radicals. And free radicals are thought to be linked to the chronic disease, cancer, and aging. And fruit has a refreshing and delicate flavor, pleasing aroma, and high nutritive and a medicinal value. The fruit actinidia, that is rich in actinidin, protein dissolving enzyme. And the organic acid, it contains citric, malic, and quinic. And in young fruits, quinic acid presents a large quantity which decreases with the increase in the ascorbic acid on the later stage. And what's the climate requirement? The kiwi fruit is a deciduous vine which can withstand wide climatic condition, yet for a production of a good crop of a quality fruits, it has specific climatic requirement like 700 to 800 chilling hours before 7 degrees Celsius during winter to overcome bud dormancy and bud break. Kiwi fruit is susceptible to the spring and autumn frost. And frost may damage to the crop by autumn frost on the crop and non-dormant plant from October and to the November, and frost at the end of the winter before and during the bud burst, and spring frost from after bud burst. Frost-free growing period 7 to 8 months is required. In summer, high temperature above 35 degrees Celsius accompanied by a high insulation and low humidity may cause scorching of leaves. Sunscar and heat stress is the main problem in this cultivation in the lower areas. Elevation 800 meter to 1500 meter above mean sea level, and rainfall 120 to 150 centimeter annual rainfall. Low temperature, hail, and rainfall during flowering hamper fruit set. Deep, well-drained sandy loam soil with a good amount of organic matter is very much important, and soil pH ranging from 5.8 to 6.5 is ideal for its cultivation, but at a higher pH of more than 7.3, deficiency of a magnesium and other micronutrient has been observed as a normal phenomena. And the varieties. Kiwi fruit is a dioecious plant, bears in a pistillate and stagnate flower, which is I'm highlighting again and again, that how that flowers, both the plants, stagnate and pistillate flower plants are important. Recommended cultivars in kiwi fruit in India. At present, Allison, Hayward, Abbott, Monty, and Bruno. For a stagnate, Allison, Tomry, and Matua, male. that is recommended. These are some of the varieties. How Hayward, most popular cultivar of the world, selected as a chance seedling by Hayward Wright. In New Zealand, fruits are large, broad, flat, and oval in shape. Require comparatively more chilling hours to break bud dormancy, suitable for a higher elevation. Pollinizer required for a Hayward is a Tomry. Fruit weight ranging from 80 to 120 gram per fruit, and average fruit yield per vine is 50 to 60 kg. And the Ellison is the most popular variety in India, as give higher fruit production, but fruit size is smaller than a Hayward. And you can see the difference in the fruit, the shape. It is resembles very much like that about, except the fruit are slightly broader in proportion to the length. Length and breadth ratio is about 1:60:1, and fruit weight ranges from 40 to 90 gram per fruit. The petals of its flowers are overlapping and crimped along with the margins. It is early flowering and maturing variety, heavy beer and sweet in taste. Fully grown wine yield 80 to 90 kg per vine. And the Bruno, this is Bruno and this is Abbott. Require comparatively less chilling period, slightly tapering shape towards the stem and longest among all the cultivars. Fruit length and breadth ratio 1:9:1. The fruit is dark brown, having very dense, short, and brightly hair, highest in the ascorbic acid and titrable acidity, that is in Bruno. And the bearing is very heavy and yield 80 to 85 kg per vine. And about fruit is early flowering and early maturing cultivar. Fruit medium to large, and average fruit weight is 70 to 80 gram. The oblong medium sized fruit are covered with the dense hairs, as you can see. And the fruit are very sweet in taste with a lower ascorbic acid content and a medium titrable acidity. And the Monty, the fruit are oblong, resembling those of Abbott and Ellison. It is a late flowering cultivar, but fruit maturity is not late. Being a highly prolific beer cultivar, sometimes it needs a hand thinning for the obtain good size fruit. The fruit is somewhat wider towards blossom end and a higher acidity and a medium sugar content. Heavy yielder, and fruit produce 90 to 100 kg per vine. This is the comparative. That Ellison, Monty, Bruno, Hayward, and Abbott. This is the transverse and vertical section. And there are some of the new cultivars which are now leading the world market. One of the important is Hot 16A. That's a Jasperi Gold series, has a golden yellow flesh. And other from our country like Kinmei, Jintao, Chuzhong, Sakuni Gold, and Anza Red. And Hot 16A has a golden yellow flesh color, that is very popularly known as Jasperi Gold. Hot 16A controlled pollination using a male of Actinia chinensis selection, CK1501 of an unknown parentage, and a female Actinia chinensis selection, CKO010101. And these are the photographs. This is a Hot 16, that Jasperi Gold, that Anza Red, that near to the seed portion, this reddish color. Then Kinmei Kiwi and Jintao and Sanuki Gold. These are some new cultivars in a world market. And some other species cultivars like Whip Green and Whip Red from Actinidia arguta from Romania, and a male Bruce for a female. This is the for Hot 16, the Jasperi Gold. Golden Kiwifruit cultivars like Y360 and Sorahi from South Africa. Yellow flesh Kiwifruit, Jimei, Ginia female, and Actinidia chinensis male. And HFR red flesh, and this is the Hongyang, and SF0612M cross, and HF501 yellow flesh open pollination from JXFX and CK04136. And how the propagation occurs in a kiwi fruit, how the commercial propagation, mainly that seedlings and cuttings. The seedlings, that pruno seedlings, are most widely used rootstock in New Zealand and even in India. That's high and uniform germination and strong vigor. Even in our case, our Shimla station also, we are using the same Bruno seedling, Bruno seeds for that propagation. In Italy, DI rootstock tolerant to the calcareous soil they are using, and other rootstock like TR2 induce precocious fruiting in Hayward without any deleterious effect on that vine growth and fruit storage life. And stratification for 30 to 40 days at low temperature, 3 to 4 degrees Celsius, and seed soaking in a 2000 to 3500 ppm GA3 solution for 24 hours has been effective in improving seed germination in kiwi. This seeds are sown 2 to 3 centimeter deep, well prepared seed beds in the month of March. And that showing that if we are putting that seed in a more than 3 or 4 centimeter deep, the generation is a problem in generation. So we need to keep that is on a superficial. And the grafting budding, that 1 year old, even after seedling growth, next year it will be ready for the grafting. That tongue grafting mainly in January, February, chip budding done during last week of January and mid to February, high bud take success 95% and growth for a nursery plants. All these the data or that what I'm showing, that is the research done in the UHF NONI that pioneered the kiwi fruit production technology standardization. That cutting, hardwood cutting January to February, semi hardwood cutting July, and softwood cutting July, and the micro propagation also. Then this is a propagation of kiwi fruit. This is that cutting, and for that cutting, that's forest leaf sand and cocoa peat sand forest is that is very much important, and we need to keep that this ratio and that moisture that after we sowing of a seed, and this is that initial how that cuttings started, and this is the rooting, and this is the rooted plants. And land having very gentle slope is ideal for kiwi fruit planting, so that that water logging problem won't be there. And the planting distance is 4:6 meter, and male to female ratio is 1:9. And it also that male to female ratio depend on other factor also, your topography and how much you have a pollinator around, and whether if you can have a hand pollination, if you can follow the hand pollination, then this ratio can be changed. And time of the planting is December to January. And two types of training system mainly we are following, the T-bar training system and pergola system. That's a Bauer system that is very much popular for the grape cultivation. This is how initially, then first year, then how these laterals come, and then in the last we cut all the laterals and we'll keep here that cut so that it will be trained in a this common T-bar or a pergola trellis system. This is how this training structure. This training structure maybe is this 5 to 6 feet, and this will depend on that your row to row, plant to plant distance at middle of that. This is T-bar training system in UHF NONI. This one iron is very much important. This for holding this 1, 2, this the T-bar training system. This will maybe up to 6 feet. It's T-bar training system. T-bar system is cheaper and easier to manage, but pergola give higher yield of a good quality fruit, as these are less susceptible to wind damage or the sunburn. Pergola is more common for hot 16 variety whose fruit have thinner skin and are consequently more easily damaged. So depend that which type of training system we are following, that also depend on the our spec also and our initial cost, how much we can afford for that establishment of a kiwi orchard. Then pruning. The main objective of pruning is to obtain high yield of a quality fruit and to manage excessive vegetative growth. As it is a vinaceous in nature, so annual growth that is very much high. The following principles should be kept in mind at the time of pruning. The fruit is developed on a current season growth arising from 1 year old shoot, as I already showed in the figure also. Only the basal bud of a 4 to 12 on a current season growth is productive. Vine grown 2 to 3 meter every year, which become overcrowded if controlled by summer or a winter pruning. The shoots develop on an older wood by heading that will not fruit normally in the first season. This is how the unpruned kiwi fruit vine looks like, and this is how pruned. These are fruiting canes that 1 year old. These are laterals, and this is the ladder. Pruning is carried out in such a way that fruiting areas are available every year, requiring for the wood to be 3 buds beyond the last fruit. In the second year, the buds produce the fruiting shoot, which is pruned again. The arm on a lateral shoots are pruned and allowed to fruit for 3 to 4 years. After this, the lateral is removed from the main branch and out after fifth year onwards, when that vine attain a full. Whether it is our system, it's important. After that, the annual pruning to maintain our production is very much important to understand. First of all, what is where that it fruit flowering occurs. Severity of pruning, that is cane length and bud load, play an important role in vegetative and reproductive activity of vine yield and fruit quality. Under Indian condition, pruning intensity having a bud load of 75 canes and 6 buds per cane has been recommended, as it gives higher yield of A grade fruit and produce better size and quality fruit without affecting total yield in a cultivar as Allison. This is the research done in non-university, and the recommendation from there. And summer pruning also essential for control for a vegetative growth, spacing and light access in the canopy, so that we can have a good quality fruit also. Summer pruning is done several times, depends on how the growth is there, and that is April to May, June, July, during the growing season. A satisfactory leaf of a fruit ratio 6:1 on a whole vine should be maintained at the time of summer pruning and should not be less than 2:1 on the shoot currently bearing fruit. If it is less than 2:1, our size of the fruit will be there and it won't attain a commercial or a grade size fruit. And other practices like FYM, which is very much important, soil health 20 to 30 kg, December, January time. That's NPK 850 to 950. That is in a split doses. Then phosphorus and potassium. That's during December and January time only. And if we are following the fertigation techniques, and that is very much important, application of 3/4 of a recommended dose, that is 600 to 10 fertilizer in 8 equal split doses at leaf emergence, flower bud development, flowering, fruit set, and 15, 30, 45, and 60 days after fruit set. Give 9% more yield. That is the fertigation. Give 9% more yield and 25% saving of fertilizer over a conventional soil fertigation. This I will explain how that advanced and the conventional cultivation. 80 to 100 liters of water for a total daily transpiration from 16 to 17 meters square canopy area. In general, young vine should be irrigated at 2 to 3 days interval, while drip irrigation at that 100% transmission has been found very beneficial in a kiwi fruit, and it gives 20% higher yield and a 25% saving of the water as compared to the surface irrigation. like tomato, ginger can also be grown as an intercrop. This is how clean cultivation with mulching or a hay grass. This is the clean cultivation. This is mulching with a hay grass, which by using this, farmer can use the water also. Then quality improvement, the thinning, improve quality, size and quality of fruits. Hand thinning, 4 to 6 flower buds per fruiting shoot is recommended for Alison, as this results in a higher production on A grade fruits of a good quality of maximum benefits 10 to 15 days after fruit set. Pollination requirement and role of pollinator. Functionally dioecious. For effective pollination, one male plant is planted for every 9 pistillate plant. Honeybees and hand pollination is very much important if you want to increase our fruit set in a kiwi. Role of plant growth regulator. And inadequate chilling can be controlled by using hydrogen cyanide, that's Dormex, which we are using for other fruit crop also. Synchronization of flowering of male and female vines and a reduction in the duration of flowering. And as I already mentioned, which one male is recommended for a Allison or Hayward. So male and female flower synchronization is very much important. 2 to 5%, 40 to 50 days before an expected bud break. 5 ppm CPPU, that is N2-chloro-4-pyridyl and phenyl urea, 10 days. After petal fall, increased fruit size and weight up to 15 to 20% in the comparison of untreated fruit. Like this is the hand pollination, or the hand pollination we are carrying. This is in April to May, and this is the application of CPPU after 8 to 10 days after the fruit set. Just dipping of a fruit in a CPPU 5 ppm solution. This is the hand pollination. This is how male flowers, and this touching the male flower with the female flower. We can use the brushes also. So harvesting, that's the maturity indices. The total soluble soil content 6 to 6.2% more satisfactory maturity indices for the kiwi fruit harvest. There are other for each variety. Days after full bloom, DFFB to the harvest along with TSS is the best index of the judging the optimum harvesting time. This is depend on that Solan condition, that is bitterly at Shimla condition at our station, that is after 15 to 20 days. So it will all depend on that when it start flowering. And storage. Food can be stored for 2 to 3 weeks at room temperature easily without without any damage to the fruits, and 4 to 6 months in a cold storage at 0 degrees Celsius with the 80 to 90% of relative humidity. This is how grading and packaging. A grade at Indian and international market, A grade more than 70 gram of fruit, B grade 50 to 70, and C grade less than 50 gram fruit. And at international market, A grade above 100, B grade 70 to 100, and C grade less than 70. That value addition, these are different value added products we can prepare from a kiwi fruit or kiwi pulp. And Bruno, suitable for jam and candy preparation. Alison Hayward, jam, butter, leather and toffee. There are not more disease or pests reported, but nowadays root and crown rot caused by Phytophthora and botrytis fruit rot, botrytis cinerea reported, and insect greedy scale and omnivorous leaf roller. This pictorial diagram, enhancement of kiwi fruit quality. This is the kiwi fruit. This main part is the pollination. This is a male flower to understand which is a male, which is a female flower, and then hand pollination. These are the important aspect. Then thinning, if we can, this is that thinned and unthinned fruit, that size, and use of PGR. Sorry, this is a deep treatment with a CPPU 5%, 5 ppm. Then economically best option for a doubling farmer income. How? The unit cost of establishment of a kiwi orchard, that's per hectare basis, number of kiwi fruit plants, that's 416 at the distance of 6:4 meter distance. This is recurring cost, land preparation and planting material, manure, fertilizer, chemicals, and the implement labor cost, that is 3.5 lakh. Fixed one time, that's trellis erection for a tree bar. If we are thinking of tree bar, 1.25 centimeter meter high angle iron. That is, this is the dimension for angle iron. That cost 10.5 lakh. That first year expenditure, this is total 14 lakh. Second year onwards, that will be 3.5. Then returns, A grade if we are going for the traditional, and improved one. A grade 125 quintal, 250 quintal. This is how traditional cultivation, gross income, net income. This improved cultivation, gross and net income. This is after first year. This is the input. This is the continuous input after first year onwards up to 7 year. Then if we will think that improved one, that is plus 337.13, that is 2.56 fold more time than our input cost in a improved one. So if we are following that input cost, and if we are following that proper drip irrigation, the cost is high, no doubt, but our returns are also high. We need to think of it. That opportunities, this was up to that cultivation and why we are looking for a kiwi fruit cultivation, what are the importance, and what are small things lacking and technical know-how we need to understand for the kiwi fruit establishment of orchard and pruning and training. Then our Indian context, what are the opportunities for the kiwi fruit cultivation? Like we have a suitable agroclimatic suitability, that ideal for temperature regions with a 600 to 800 chilling hours. And if this is also, we have some chemicals, as like already discussed, Dormex is there to break the bud break, to use, and that is used for the bud break. Thrives well in the drained, slightly acidic soil, 5.5 to 6.5. Our most of the hill soils are the acidic in nature, so our hill area that are most suitable for that kiwi fruit cultivation. Hill slope with a good drainage reduce the root rot incidence. This is the opportunities we have in our Indian condition. We need to think, and all our Himalayan, northeast as well as northwest Himalayan regions are the suitable for that kiwi fruit cultivation. Then rising domestic demand, growing awareness of health benefits among Indian consumers, as per capita consumption increasing steadily in urban areas or peri-urban areas. So the demand for kiwi fruits are increasing, especially during that during Diwali time and all, when there is no fruit, or when now that people are shifting from gifting our Diwali sweets with the fruits and all. So kiwi fruit, people are liking that kiwi fruit is a better option for that. So we have a heavy imports, more than 25 million annually. So we can check that by meeting our domestic demand as well as our international market. So import substitution. India imports kiwi fruit from New Zealand, Iran, and Chile. Domestic production can reduce dependency and save foreign exchange. So if we'll improve our cultivation practices, improve our quality, so we can substitute from our that what kiwi fruit we are importing, we can save our foreign exchange. Our government, most of the states, they are giving good opportunity that government supports for that horticulture, mainly for fruit diversification, and the kiwi, now that kiwi and persimmon and some other stone fruits are also the part of that. Like they are included in National Horticulture Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture. In different states have different name. Financial assistance for the establishment of orchards, trellis system and installation, irrigation infrastructures, drip irrigation system, training and extension facilities. We have enough support from the government side also. So we can think of the kiwi fruit cultivation. These are the opportunities. Apart from that, we can even export if our quality is good. Scope for exporting surplus kiwi to the Gulf countries, Southeast Asian, Europe, or the organic market, like European country, like our most of the not most, that Sikkim state, they are producing that organic kiwis, so they have a high demand, high quality. If we have a high quality organic kiwi fruit, can fetch a premium prices, not within an Indian market, even we can export those kiwi fruits. The intercropping and diversification. Kiwi can be intercropped with apple, pear, and plum, where there is a old senile orchard like apple, and so in that all orchards, where replant is a major problem, where we can think of a kiwi cultivation and apple and plum, and enhance land use efficiency and farm income, and suitable for promoting agro diversification in a hill agriculture. So these are the opportunity we have in hand to explore the kiwi fruit cultivation in India. I'm not talking about only Himachal. These all states include all our northwest and northeast Himalayan states. Like specific example in Indian kiwi fruit industry, like Arunachal Pradesh, the largest kiwi producing state in India, Zero Valley, farmers have successfully adopted organic kiwi farming. The state government promotes kiwi under the Mission Organic Value Chain Development. These are the some specific examples we have. In Nagaland, kiwi is a flagship crop under the horticulture mission. Farmers in a Topian and Ufosto area achieving commercial success. Himachal Pradesh, kiwi farming is gaining around Solan Mandi district. KV K Solan they provide support and canopy and post-harvest care. And not only KVK Solan, now even our station, even other part of the Himachal like Mandi, Solan, Kinnaur, lower belt of Kinnaur, where people are started shifting from kiwi and other fruits also. The Sikkim promoting organic kiwi fruit and the organic mission with successful trials in Donzhao and surrounding areas. And Meghalaya, establishment of a kiwi wines processing unit and Riboi district supported by the Northeast Council. Nagaland produced under the brand name Nakiwi in the collaboration with the local farmers and FPOs. Pilot project of kiwi fruit pulp extraction and juice production supported by Department of Horticulture in Arunachal Pradesh. These initiatives are helping reduce post-harvest losses and add values to the produce in Arunachal Pradesh. Like some success stories from Kago Kampu from Arunachal Pradesh, progressive woman farmer from Zero Valley. You may read in some newspaper. For her innovation in organic kiwi fruit farming, she supplies organic kiwis to regional market and has trained several self-help groups. SK Teso, Nagaland, a pioneer kiwi grown from that Nagaland area, credited with the setting up one of the first successful kiwi orchard in the state. He collaborated with Nagaland Horticulture Department for farmer training. There's Narendra Chauhan from Himachal, Pema Lama Bhutia from Sikkim, Nawaz Sheikh Ali from Meghalaya, Gajendra Singh from Uttarakhand, who is a successful kiwi farmer and as well as the nurseryman. And the challenges we have. The important thing, limited quality planting material, lack of certified disease-free, high-yielding planting material, restrict expansion. Most of the farmers now, they are looking for a new kiwi, like yellow color, red color, like Enza and all. But we don't have any certified nurseries within India. And no legal plants are introduced. There are different that farmers or nurseries, private players who are importing these plants from some different means, which is very much important to understand because they are not reliable. And in a fruit crops, if you are thinking of plants from such type of private players, we need to think, because these plants, we don't know from where it's are coming, whether they are certified, whether they are disease free. So we need to think of all these. So this is challenge, not before me, but before all of us, that we have a limited quality planting material. If we, for the kiwi fruit, varietal awareness among farmers is very low. That okay, that Hayward, Elson, and Bruno are there, but we need to think of a different. We need to think of a different other than these plants, which we are also working on it. And the pollination issue, as dioecious nature requires proper male-female plant ratio, 1:8, 1:9, and bee activity for an effective fruit set. That's inadequate pollinator and a poor orchard design affect yield. So when we are establishing these plants, we need to think where we need to keep our pollinator, that male plant, staminate plant, which place, if it is a ratio 1:8, that we need to look that terrain, that hill terrain system, where we are going to plant these plants and how. The poor post-harvest infrastructure. We have a poor post-harvest infrastructure, like adequate cold chain and storage facility lead to poor post-harvest loss. Fragile fruit skin demands delicate handling and advanced packaging, which we are lacking, and lack of technical know-how. Farmers lack training in canopy management, trellising, pruning, and nutritional management. Extension services are limited in remote areas, and market access and supply chain. Farmers face issues in the accessing organized market and getting fair prices in all crops and in kiwi as well. Limited processing units for kiwi based product like juice and jams. And if we have a like C grade fruit, so we can process those fruits and get a better price. So we need to have a kiwi based byproduct industries. Along with that, climate sensitive, kiwi is sensitive to the late frost, hailstorm, and unseasonal rainfall, affecting flowering and fruiting. That I will share one example, that hailstorm, how hailstorm. Earlier in our station, we hardly use that anti-hail nets for kiwi fruit. One year that around in July, first week of July, there was a heavy hailstorm, and all our kiwi vines has damaged severely. And it took more than, it was in 2018. It took more than 3 to 4 years to recover all those vines. So how this small, that hailstorm, 1 year hailstorm damaged our kiwi production and our kiwi vines for more than, it took almost 3 to 4 years to recover all those vines. And the climate variability due to climate change is long-term risk. So because before I stop my presentation, I acknowledge Director and BPGR, Head ICR and BPGR, our regional station, our in charge and organizer, for giving me opportunity to interact you all, and Dr. Pramod Verma, the Assistant Professor in UHF Noni, who is my friend and who provided me the good photos of that UHF Noni and other presentation, helped me. And here I conclude. Kiwifruit has a bright prospect in our country in a journal, and it has been assessed as one of the important future commercial fruits. It provides high return per unit area and bears heavily every year with no crop failure. A major advantage of this fruit is that it can be harvested in a farm stage, allowing it to be transported over long distance if it is harvested in a good at a proper time without requiring sophisticated packaging. It has an advantage. Furthermore, kiwi fruit cultivation can play a crucial role in addressing malnutrition, particularly among rural women and children. And in kiwi fruit, no serious pest and disease attack have been observed. Thus, it has a better scope to become commercial eco-friendly fruit crop for the country. Though, with this, thank you so much. Thank you for listening me. And if any questions, any queries, here I am available for you. Thank you. Hope I took exact time and 10 minutes, I think. If someone has any question.